I stared at my mother-in-law Vada across the granite countertop, my knuckles white around my coffee mug as she delivered her ultimatum with a smile that never reached her eyes. Darling, you simply must understand. Family comes first. Desiree needs help with the children, and who better than you? I'm Peyton, and at 32 years old, I was being told to give up my career as a graphic designer to become my sister-in-law's full-time unpaid babysitter. I have clients depending on me, I said, keeping my voice steady. Projects in development. A team I lead. Oh, please. Vada waved her hand dismissively. Playing with computers all day isn't a real career. Benson makes enough to support you both. The kitchen suddenly felt too small, too warm. Through the archway, I could see my husband Benson pretending to be absorbed in his phone, avoiding eye contact. Typical. I've worked hard to get where I am, I said. 5 years building my reputation. And now it's time to focus on what truly matters. Vada's voice hardened. Desiree is at her wit's end with Avery and Theo. She needs family support. Why can't you help her? The words slipped out before I could stop them. Vada's face darkened. I've done my time raising children. Now it's your generation's turn to step up. Unless, she paused deliberately, you're planning to continue being so selfish. Mom, Benson finally spoke up, his voice weak. Maybe we should... No, son. Your wife needs to understand her responsibilities. Vada stood smoothing her expensive blouse. I expect an answer by Sunday dinner. Speaking of which, you're hosting this week, Peyton. Don't forget Randolph's allergies this time. After she left, I turned to Benson. Are you really going to let her? Don't start, he cut me off. You know how she gets. Just do what she wants. Please? For me? That evening, I sat through another excruciating family dinner. Desiree complained endlessly about her children while shooting meaningful looks my way. Randolph grumbled about my cooking. Vada orchestrated the whole performance like a conductor, dropping pointed comments about family duty and proper wives. Remember when Peyton thought she'd open her own design studio? Desiree laughed, bouncing Theo on her knee. Thank goodness that didn't happen. Now she can help me instead. I actually just landed a major client, I said quietly. They're expanding nationwide and need... Pass the potatoes, dear, Vada interrupted. And speaking of passing things along, have you given any thought to our discussion? I felt everyone's eyes on me. Benson shifted uncomfortably in his chair. His younger brother Royce studied his plate with unusual intensity. I'll think about it, I managed. Wonderful, Vada clapped her hands. Desiree, darling, your problems are solved. Peyton will start next week. I didn't say, you'll need to give notice at that little job of yours, of course, she continued as if I hadn't spoken. But family is more important than hobby work, isn't it? Later that night, I lay in bed beside Benson's sleeping form, rage and resentment burning in my chest. 6 years of marriage, and I'd watched my dreams, my independence, my very identity be slowly chipped away by his family's demands. Every compromise, every sacrifice, every yes, Vada, had led to this moment. My phone buzzed with a text from Desiree. Can you start Monday, 7 a.m. sharp? I turned off my phone and stared at the ceiling, something crystallizing inside me. They thought they had won. They thought I would fold like always. But watching Benson's peaceful sleep, untroubled by the way his family steamrolled over my life, something snapped. I was done playing by their rules. Rolling over, I opened my laptop and began to type. First stop, checking our joint account balances. If they wanted to force my hand, they were about to learn exactly what happened when you backed a talented, resourceful woman into a corner. I smiled in the dark. They had no idea what was coming. I've thought about what you said, I announced at breakfast, watching Varda's face light up with triumph. You're right. Family should come first. The words tasted like ash in my mouth, but I forced a smile. Varda practically glowed as she pulled me into a suffocating hug. Oh, darling, I knew you'd make the right choice. She turned to Benson. Didn't I tell you she'd come around? Benson smiled weakly. That's great, honey. Really great. Over the next few days, I played my part perfectly. I called my boss and requested 2 weeks' notice, citing family obligations. I listened to Desiree ramble about her children's schedules. I even let Vada parade me around her country club, introducing me as the devoted daughter-in-law who's sacrificing her little job to help family. Meanwhile, I was busy. Very busy. You're doing what? My best friend Eliana whispered over coffee, well away from any prying eyes. Leaving, I repeated quietly. I've already found an apartment in your city. I just need to finish moving my money without raising suspicions. Girl. Eliana grabbed my hand. Are you sure about this? I thought about last Christmas, when Varda had accidentally deleted my portfolio presentation before a major client meeting. About Benson dismissing my tears as dramatic. About Desiree's constant demands and guilt trips. More sure than I've ever been. That afternoon, I logged into our joint account again. Something caught my eye. A series of large withdrawals over the past few months, all made by Benson. $5,000 here, $7,000 there. Money I'd earned being siphoned away without my knowledge. My hand shook as I dialed my Aunt Ruby. Those bastards, she hissed when I told her. You're still coming to stay with me, right? Yes. I just need a few more days to... Peyton! Benson's voice called from downstairs. Mum's here. She wants to go over Desiree's schedule. Coming! I called back, quickly hanging up. Varda had spread papers across our dining room table. Now, Mondays are gymnastics for Avery, then piano for Theo. Tuesdays... I nodded along, noting everything down like the perfect daughter-in-law while my mind raced. Those withdrawals changed everything. I needed to move faster. That night, I made Benson's favourite dinner. As he ate, I casually mentioned, I should probably take over the banking since I'll be home more. Oh. He shifted uncomfortably. Mum actually thinks it's better if I handle the money. You know, since you won't be working. Of course, I said sweetly while fury burned in my chest. Whatever you think is best. The next morning, I waited until Benson left for work. Then I made 2 calls, one to my bank to open a new private account, and one to a divorce lawyer. Smart girl, the lawyer said. Document everything. Those withdrawals, the coercion, all of it. I spent the afternoon gathering important documents and photographing everything. Birth certificate, passport, financial records. When Desiree called to discuss her kids' allergies, I let it go to voicemail. You're so quiet lately, Benson commented that evening. Everything okay? I looked at him. Really looked at him. The weak chin, the nervous hands, the eyes that never quite met mine. 6 years of watching him choose his mother over me, again and again. Just thinking about the future, I said. Mum's really happy, you know. He squeezed my shoulder. She says you're finally becoming the wife she always knew you could be. I smiled and leaned in to kiss his cheek, knowing it would be the last time. I'm becoming exactly who I need to be. Later, checking our account one final time, I noticed a new withdrawal. $10,000 made that afternoon. My stomach clenched. They were already starting to hide money, preparing to leave me with nothing when they had me trapped as their unpaid servant. Well, I had news for them. Opening my laptop, I began typing. Dear Benson, by the time you read this, the endgame was starting and I was ready to play. At 2 a.m., I stood in our bedroom watching Benson sleep one last time. The moonlight caught his wedding ring, the one his mother had picked out. Fitting. My suitcases were already in my car, packed during his late meeting. I'd moved them one by one, careful not to let the wheels scratch the hardwood floors. Heaven forbid I damage Varda's housewarming gift. I placed the letter on his nightstand, my hand steady. 3 pages explaining exactly why I was leaving, including screenshots of his secret withdrawals. Let him try to spin this to his mother. My phone buzzed, a text from Ruby. "I'm awake. Drive safe." I'd already transferred my portion of our savings, carefully documented as my earnings, to my new account. The joint account now held exactly what Benson had contributed, minus his mysterious withdrawals. Fair is fair. The house was silent as I crept downstairs. On the kitchen counter, I left my set of keys and a second letter, this one for Varda. Short, sweet, and absolutely devastating. "I quit. Find someone else to be your servant. P.S. I'm keeping my career." My finger hovered over my wedding ring. With a smile, I placed it on top of Varda's letter. The garage door opened silently. Thank God for WD-40. As I backed out, my headlights swept across the "Blessed Home" sign Varda had insisted we hang. I flipped it off as I drove away. My phone exploded at 6:45 a.m. right on schedule. Benson's morning alarm would have just gone off. I let it ring as I pulled into a gas station 2 hours away. 15 missed calls, 23 texts. I scrolled through them while pumping gas. Benson. "Baby, please come back, we can talk about this." Benson. "What do you mean? You filed for divorce?" Varda. "How dare you do this to my son?" Desiree. "I'm supposed to drop the kids off in an hour. Where are you?" Varda. "Answer your phone this instant." Benson. "Mom's hysterical. Please call me." A new message popped up from Royce. "You did the right thing. They won't recover from this." I smiled and typed back, "Take care of yourself." Inside the gas station, I bought coffee and a burner phone. My old phone would stay off. Evidence for the lawyer of their harassment. "Looking happy this morning," the cashier commented. "Just got out of prison," I replied cheerfully, making her laugh. Back on the highway, I called Eliana on the burner phone. "Holy shit," she breathed when I told her what I'd done. "Holy shit. Is your spare room still available?" "Girl, I'm making the bed right now, but what about your aunt?" "Ruby's my decoy. They'll look for me there first." I merged onto the interstate, heading in the opposite direction of Ruby's house. "I need a few days to disappear before I surface at your place." "Smart. Oh my God, Benson just tried calling me." I snorted. "Block him. Block them all." "Already done. Wait, check your email. Royce sent something." I pulled into a rest stop and opened my laptop, connecting to my mobile hotspot. Royce had forwarded an email chain between Benson and their family accountant, dated 2 weeks ago. My hand shook as I read it. "That son of a bitch," I whispered. "He was planning to move all our money to a private account. Next week. Please tell me you got your money out in time." "Every penny." I leaned back laughing. "I beat him to it by exactly 6 days. My burner phone rang. Ruby. "Varda just left my house," she said, cackling. "Should have seen her face when I said I hadn't heard from you. She's convinced I'm lying." "You're enjoying this?" "Damn right I am. Oh, she just peeled out of my driveway, nearly hit my rose bush." I started my car again, feeling lighter with every mile between me and my old life. The morning sun hit my face and I realized I was smiling. My new life was waiting. My laptop held my portfolio, my contacts, everything I needed to restart my career. No more family dinners, no more guilt trips, no more watching my dreams die while Varda smiled. The highway stretched ahead, empty and bright. I turned up the radio and sang along, free at last. Behind me, my phone kept buzzing with their desperation. Ahead lay everything I'd ever wanted. I chose ahead. Your portfolio is fire, Eliana said, scrolling through my laptop. I already have 3 clients who'd kill for your style. I looked up from unpacking my suitcase in her spare room. 2 weeks had passed since my escape, and I was finally settling into my new reality. Really? Even with the gap I'll have explaining why I left my last job? Trust me, no one cares about that anymore. It's all remote work anyway. She spun her laptop around. Look at this startup's budget. They're desperate for a rebrand. My phone buzzed. The new one, not the burner. A text from Ruby. You should see Desiree's Facebook meltdown. 5-paragraph rant about ungrateful family members and how she had to put her kids in actual daycare. Send screenshots, I texted back, grinning. Already did. Check your email. Also, Varda's still driving by my house daily. Should I wave next time? Eliana peered over my shoulder at the screenshots. Oh my God, she tagged you in this post. Some people don't understand family values. Girl, she is losing it. Keep scrolling, I said. It gets better. The comments were a goldmine. Desiree's friends were turning on her, pointing out that expecting free childcare was entitled. Someone had even dug up her old posts, bragging about her shopping sprees while I watched her kids. My laptop pinged with a new email. From Royce. You need to know what's happening, it read. Benson's been missing work. Dad found out about his secret withdrawals. Mum's telling everyone you stole their money, but the bank records prove otherwise. It's all falling apart. I forwarded it to my lawyer, then opened my design software. Time to focus on rebuilding. Let's grab lunch, Eliana suggested. That new Thai place opened downtown. Walking through the busy streets felt surreal. No one here knew me as Benson's wife or Varda's daughter-in-law. I was just me. I got another commission, I said between bites of pad thai. A boutique owner saw my Instagram portfolio. See? You're already... Eliana stopped mid-sentence, staring at her phone. You should see this. She handed me her phone. Benson had posted a photo of us from our wedding day with a long, self-pitying caption about betrayal and family values. The comments, though, Eliana pointed. People weren't buying it. Someone had shared screenshots of Desiree's entitled rants. Another person mentioned hearing Varda brag about making me quit my job. The court of public opinion has spoken. I laughed, but my hands shook slightly. Back at Eliana's apartment, I threw myself into work. The startup loved my initial concepts. The boutique owner wanted to fast-track their rebrand. My new business email was filling up with inquiries. I found an apartment, I told Eliana that evening. 10 minutes from here. Already? But I like having you here. You'll like having your living room back more. I showed her the listing on my phone. It has a perfect space for a home office. My burner phone rang, the first call in days. Royce again. Benson's in trouble at work, he said without preamble. Those withdrawals? He was covering gambling debts. His boss found out. My stomach dropped. How bad? Bad enough that Mom and Dad can't buy his way out this time. Royce's voice was grim. They're asking about you, about whether you'll come back if they apologise. They need your income. I laughed bitterly. Of course they do. I told them to go to hell. He paused. I'm proud of you, by the way, for getting out. After hanging up, I sat at my workspace staring at my designs. My talent, my skills, my future. Everything they tried to take away. Eliana brought me tea. You okay? Better than okay. I opened my laptop. I'm going to make my new business logo absolutely perfect. Something that screams, success is the best revenge. That's my girl. She squeezed my shoulder. Show them what they lost. I worked late into the night, creating something beautiful. Something mine. With every stroke of my digital pen, I built my new life higher, stronger, better. Let them scramble to replace me. I was too busy soaring to look back. Your design just went viral, Eliana announced, bursting into my new apartment with coffee and bagels. That tech startup's rebrand. It's everywhere. I looked up from my desk where I'd been working on another client project. 1 month into my new life, and success was hitting harder than I'd imagined. Define everywhere, I said, reaching for a bagel. She shoved her phone in my face. The startup's sleek new logo, my design, was trending on Twitter. Design blogs were sharing it. Even major tech websites were commenting on the rebrand. My phone buzzed. Another new client inquiry. I had to hire a virtual assistant, I admitted. I can't keep up with the emails. Speaking of keeping up, Eliana pulled up Instagram. Have you seen Desiree's latest crisis? The post was a mess of crying emojis and accusations. Had to pull the kids out of dance class. Thanks to someone leaving us in the lurch, we can't afford extracurriculars anymore. Family is supposed to help family. The comments were brutal. Maybe sell some of those designer bags you bought. Imagine expecting your Sil to be your free nanny forever. Girl, get a job. My burner phone rang, Royce's weekly update. It's a disaster, he said without greeting. Benson's on probation at work. Desiree dumped her kids on Mum and disappeared for 3 days. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. Not my circus anymore, I replied, but my heart twinged slightly. Mum's been calling all the relatives, trying to get loans. Nobody's biting. They know about how they treated you. He paused. They're talking about selling the house. After hanging up, I checked my email. My stomach dropped. There, among the client messages, was one from Vada. Dearest Peyton, it began, the tone sickeningly sweet. We may have had our differences, but surely you can see how much your family needs you now. Benson is lost without you. The children miss their aunt. We can forgive your temporary insanity if you'll just come home. I forwarded it to my lawyer without responding. Look at this, Eliana said, showing me Facebook. Vada's country club friends were jumping ship, distancing themselves from the drama. The carefully curated image of perfect family life was crumbling. My phone buzzed again. A text from Ruby. Desiree just got kicked out of the PTA board. Apparently showing up drunk to a meeting was the last straw. They're imploding, I murmured. Good, Eliana said firmly. They earned this. I turned back to my work, but another email popped up. From Benson this time. Baby, please. I know I messed up. The gambling, the lies. I'll get help. Mum's driving me crazy. Dad won't talk to me. I need you. We can start over. I'll stand up to them this time, I promise. Delete. My new apartment's window overlooked a busy street. Outside, people rushed past, living their lives. In here, I was building mine, project by project, client by client. My virtual assistant messaged me. Major advertising agency requesting a meeting. They saw the viral rebrand. I smiled, thinking of Vada's dismissive, playing with computers all day comment. If she could see my bank balance now. Hey, Eliana called from my living room. Royce just posted something interesting. It was a simple photo. Vada's precious, blessed home sign, lying in a yard sale pile. The caption read, Everything must go. They're really selling the house, I whispered. Karma's not just a bitch, Eliana said. She's an efficient one. My phone lit up with a notification. The advertising agency wanted to meet tomorrow. They had a 6-figure project in mind. I looked around my peaceful apartment. No manipulative in-laws, no entitled sister-in-law, no spineless husband. Just my success, my peace, and my freedom. Should we celebrate? Eliana asked, watching me book the meeting. Actually, I opened my design software. I want to work. I'm creating something beautiful while they destroy everything they built on lies. She squeezed my shoulder. That's the best revenge of all. Outside, the sun was setting on another day of my new life. Somewhere across the city, my old family was facing the consequences of their actions, but I was too busy rising to watch them fall. "Miss Peyton?" The receptionist smiled warmly. "The agency partners are ready for you." I smoothed my blazer and grabbed my portfolio tablet. 2 months after my escape, I was walking into the biggest meeting of my career. My phone buzzed. Benson calling my business line. Again. Delete. The conference room held 5 people, all focused on the presentation screen where my viral rebrand glowed. "Impressive work," the creative director said, "especially considering your recent transition to independence." I smiled. They'd done their homework. Sometimes the best creativity comes from breaking free. Halfway through my presentation, my burner phone vibrated. Royce never called during business hours. Something was wrong. I finished the meeting first, landing the contract, of course, before calling him back. "Benson's being investigated for financial misconduct," Royce blurted. "The gambling wasn't just personal accounts. He was using company money." I sank onto a park bench outside the agency building. "How much?" "Enough for criminal charges. Mum's hysterical. She showed up at my place last night, talking about selling her jewelry to cover his legal fees." My other phone dinged with an email from Vada. "I know you think you've won, but if you had any decency, any family loyalty at all, you'd help Benson through this crisis. Your selfishness destroyed this family. The money you took could save him." I forwarded it to my lawyer, then called Eliana. "You won't believe what just happened at the country club," she said immediately. "My mum was there. Vada tried to pay her membership fees with a bounced check. They revoked her access in front of everyone." "The mighty have fallen," I murmured. "That's not all. Desiree's husband left her. Apparently she maxed out their credit cards trying to hire a nanny. My virtual assistant messaged me. 3 new client inquiries, 2 podcast interview requests, and an invitation to speak at a design conference. Walking home, I passed a coffee shop with a TV showing local news. My steps faltered as Benson's company logo appeared on screen. The headline, "Local Business Rocked by Financial Scandal." My phone rang, a number I didn't recognize. "Peyton!" Desiree's voice was thick with tears. "Please, I know I was awful to you, but my kids, we're about to lose everything. Could you just—" I hung up. Back home, I opened my laptop to find an email from Randolph, the first direct contact he'd ever initiated with me. "You were right to leave. I was wrong about you. But please, help my son. Not for him. For me. I'm not well, and this stress. Delete." Eliana came over with wine and takeout. "You okay? You look shaken." "They're all reaching out," I said, showing her my phones. "Suddenly, I'm not the selfish daughter-in-law anymore. Now, I'm their last hope. Because you succeeded while they failed." She poured generous glasses. "Don't let them guilt you." My burner phone rang again. Royce. "They're searching the house," he said quietly. "Police warrant. Mom's having a meltdown on the front lawn. The neighbors are filming everything." I closed my eyes. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because you need to know you made the right choice. This was always who they were. You just got out before the crash." After hanging up, I walked to my home office. The wall held my first major check from the startup project, framed as a reminder. Below it sat a photo of me and Eliana at my new apartment's housewarming party, both of us laughing. My laptop chimed with a new email. From Benson. "They're going to arrest me tomorrow. I know I don't deserve your help, but I'm begging you. The money you took, it could fix this. Please. I'll do anything." I thought about the years of manipulation, the dismissed dreams, the stolen money, the forced smiles at family dinners. My fingers flew across the keyboard. Dear Benson, you're right. You don't deserve my help. Goodbye. Send. Outside, the city hummed with life. My new life. The one I built from the ashes they tried to bury me in. Let them fall. I was too busy soaring. Turn on the news, Eliana texted. Channel 5. Now. I grabbed my remote, nearly dropping my morning coffee. There, on screen, was Benson being led out of his office in handcuffs. Varda stood nearby, screaming at the reporters while Randolph tried to shield her from the cameras. My phone exploded with notifications. The story was everywhere. Local executive arrested in embezzlement scandal. Family business faces criminal investigation. Prominent families fall from grace, Ruby called first. Are you watching this? Yeah. I couldn't look away from Varda's mascara-streaked face. It's surreal. They're saying he stole over $500,000. Girl, you got out just in time. My doorbell rang. A delivery man held a massive flower arrangement. The card read, "Congratulations on your speaking engagement at the design conference. You deserve this success. Royce." My phone buzzed again. A number I didn't recognize. Peyton. A familiar voice. Varda's country club friend, Margaret. I know we haven't spoken since. Well, I need to apologize. We all believed Varda's lies about you, but now... Save it, I said, and hung up. My laptop chimed with an email from my lawyer. Benson's attorney reached out. They're offering an uncontested divorce if you'll testify about the family's financial practices. Thoughts? Before I could respond, my burner phone rang. Royce. They're selling everything, he said. The house, the cars, Mom's precious antiques. Dad's health is worse. Desiree's living in a motel. And Benson, facing 15 years. Unless. He paused. Unless someone testifies about Mom and Dad's involvement in covering up his gambling. Someone like you. I laughed bitterly. They want my help? Now? They're desperate. Mum's been calling every relative, every friend. Nobody is answering anymore. My regular phone lit up. Desiree. How dare you ignore us? She shrieked when I answered. Your husband is going to jail. Your father-in-law is sick. My children are suffering. You have money now. You could help. Like you helped me? I kept my voice calm. Like when you demanded I quit my little job to watch your kids for free. That was different. We're family. Not anymore. I hung up and opened Instagram. My latest design project had gone viral again. The comments were filled with praise and new client requests. My virtual assistant messaged, "The design conference wants you to give the keynote speech. Theme, Rising from Adversity." I smiled, thinking of how perfectly that fit. My doorbell rang again. This time, it was Varda herself. "How did you find me?" I demanded through the closed door. "Please," she sobbed. "Just talk to me. We can fix this. Your testimony could save Benson. We'll do anything. I'll apologize publicly. I'll go away, or I'm calling security. You vindictive little..." Her voice turned ugly. "You're enjoying this, aren't you? Watching us suffer while you succeed." I opened my design software and turned up the music, drowning out her threats and pleas. Eventually, she left. Eliana came over that evening with champagne. "I saw Varda's visit on the building's security camera. You okay?" "Better than okay." I showed her my laptop screen. "Look at my new company logo." The design was bold, powerful, a phoenix rising from ashes. "Perfect," she whispered. My phone lit up with a text from Royce. "They're auctioning Mum's precious china collection tomorrow, the one she always said you weren't worthy to inherit." I took a sip of champagne and replied, "Karma comes for everyone eventually." "True," he wrote back. "By the way, I'm moving away too, following your example. Some chains need breaking. Later that night, I stood at my window, looking out at the city lights. My phones were quiet now. I'd blocked every number except Royce's and my real friends. On my desk lay an invitation to speak at the design conference, my name in bold letters. Beside it, a newspaper with Benson's arrest on the front page. I picked up my phone one last time and texted a photo of my success to their group chat. My viral designs, my speaking engagement, my thriving business. The caption was simple. Family comes first. Mine does now, without you. Then I blocked them all and turned back to my work, leaving them to drown in the consequences of their own actions. And that's how I built my design empire from the ashes of a toxic marriage, I concluded, stepping back from the podium as applause filled the conference hall. The moderator approached with a microphone. Questions from the audience? A young woman stood. What would you say to others trapped in similar situations? Never dim your light for people who fear your brightness. After the keynote, Eliana met me backstage, grinning. Girl, you crushed it. Also, check your phone. Royce sent updates. I scrolled through his messages. Benson had taken a plea deal. 8 years. Varda and Randolph had moved into a small apartment, their mansion sold at auction. Desiree was working retail, her kids in public school. Ready for the networking reception? Eliana asked. Actually, I showed her my laptop. I want to finish this first. On the screen was my latest project, a website offering free resources and support for women leaving toxic relationships. The homepage featured a simple message. Your dreams matter. My phone buzzed, Ruby calling. Just drove by their old house, she said. New family moving in. They painted over Varda's precious custom walls, put up a basketball hoop where her prize roses used to be. Good, I said. Fresh starts all around. The conference centre's lobby was packed with designers eager to network. As I moved through the crowd, someone caught my arm. Peyton? A familiar voice. I turned to face Royce. What are you doing here? He smiled. Supporting my friend. Also, he handed me a business card. Started my own company. Away from them, away from their poison. Proud of you, I said, and meant it. My phone lit up with a news alert. Local business family files bankruptcy. Below was a photo of Varda leaving court, her designer handbag replaced by a shabby purse. Don't feel guilty, Eliana said, watching my face. They earned this. I don't feel guilty, I replied. I feel free. Back in my office the next day, I hung a new frame on my wall. Inside was the conference program with my name as keynote speaker. Beside it, I pinned my company's latest achievement. Design Firm of the Year. My virtual assistant messaged, Ms. Peyton, the Women's Shelter loved your proposal. They want you to design their new empowerment campaign. Pro bono? Eliana asked, bringing me coffee. Of course. I opened my design software. Some things matter more than money. My phone buzzed, an email from my lawyer. The divorce was final. Attached was a local news article about Benson's sentencing. The photo showed him in prison orange, head bowed. Last link broken, I texted Royce. Good, he replied. By the way, Dad finally admitted you were right. Too late, but still. I looked around my office, at the awards, the successful projects, the thank you notes from clients, at the photo of me and Eliana celebrating my first major contract, at the sticky note where I'd written, Never dim your light. My assistant messaged again. Your story's trending on social media. Women are sharing their own escape stories. I clicked the hashtag, Ashtu, never dim your light. Thousands of posts, thousands of women refusing to be silenced. That's the real victory, I told Eliana. Not watching them fall, helping others rise. Speaking of rising. She pointed to my computer. Another major client wanted to meet. I smiled, thinking of Varda's dismissive words about my little job, of Benson's passive enabling, of Desiree's entitled demands. My new website's support forum was filling up with messages from women planning their own escapes, women reclaiming their power, women refusing to dim their light. I opened my design software and began creating something beautiful, not for clients this time, for them, for every woman who needed to see that success was possible, that freedom was worth the fight. Outside my window, the city sparkled with possibility. My phone stayed quiet. No more desperate pleas, no more manipulation, no more guilt trips. I had built this life from scratch, had turned their cruelty into fuel for my success, had transformed their attempts to dim my light into a beacon for others. That was the best revenge of all. Ready for the next chapter? Eliana asked. I looked at my thriving business, my true friends, my peaceful life. I already wrote it, I said, and it's perfect.